Welcome to the Chronicle Sports Blog. I'm Chris Cusack.
And I'm Andy Margius.
And we're here to talk a little bit about the Miami-Duke football game yesterday. So first of all, Andy, let me ask you, what do you think the big storyline of the game was?
Well, definitely the 7 turnovers by Duke yesterday. It really hurt them. Really stopped a lot of drives. Sean Renfrey threw 5 interceptions. And it really caused Duke to have a less than favorable outcome on the day.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree with that. I think Renfrey's 5 picks, and he really should have thrown 2 more at least. He was all over the place with his passes, a little bit of poor decision making. But it was hard. The Miami secondary is really physical and really up front.
Well, on top of that, I mean, there were 2 of those interceptions, though, by Renfrey, with all due respect, were not entirely his fault. I mean, there were 2 tip passes from Vernon, but even still, he shouldn't have been throwing the passes he was doing. They're very ill-advised.
Well, no, and I completely agree with that. I think a story that was overlooked, though, is how good Duke's running game was against Miami's front. I mean, Miami has a very big defensive front. They've got a big secondary that really outsized Duke, but still, the offensive line was able to get a good push and actually get some yards for the running backs. Jay Hollingsworth had a great day, 10 rushes for 69 yards.
Yeah, it was a career high for him as well, yeah.
Yeah, it was a great game out of him, and Snead, Hollingsworth, and Scott combined averaged 5.5 yards a carry, which is just incredible.
Yeah, no, definitely. It definitely felt like the offensive line was getting a lot more push than you would have expected going to the game, especially given the size of Miami. I definitely agree.
Yeah, no, and I think the most indicative play of that was, I think it was a 3rd and 2 around midfield, and Sean Renfrey snuck the ball for 4 yards, which is huge for quarterback sneak, and just really gave Blue Devils a first down. They didn't end up scoring, I don't believe, but it was still just a great play out of them. And I think actually the Duke defense played a good game. Yeah,
no, the defense definitely came out and had a significantly. The first half was very, very, very strong. I think it was possibly their best half of the year. They had a lot of play by Daniels and Abraham Kamar came out and really 12 tackles apiece. They came out and really had a phenomenal showing. And I think a big part of that was Duke moving to a 4-3 defense as opposed to the way they've been doing 3-4 this year. And by moving that 4-3 up, they allowed to put more pressure on the running game. And it really helped to really cement the first half, as they only allowed 14 points. I mean, it was.
Yeah, no, the secondary's definitely had a tough start to the year. They've given up a lot of big plays, and there really weren't that many big plays out of Miami in the passing game. And part of that can be attributed to Ja'Cory Harris. He really had an off day on passing too, as Renfrey did. He was throwing balls behind receivers, over their heads, everywhere. And actually, in the press conference afterwards, it sounds like Coach Cutcliffe really wanted the secondary to make more big plays. He said they had an opportunity to make a couple of interceptions and really didn't do that.
They had a couple of drop out of their hands, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, but I think that'll come with time as they start playing better, and they haven't had that many opportunities to have interceptions, so I think that'll come with time.
Well, I mean, early in the season was also a problem with not turning around for passes, and you notice they're really looking for the ball on every play, and they were going for the ball, and it was really definitely something great to see in the secondary.
Absolutely. And I guess we'll see how they continue to improve over the course of the season. And Cutcliffe said he's going to stick with Renfrey at quarterback, even though Kennett had a great fourth quarter. But I think it's the right move to stick with Renfrey. He really hasn't had that much time to prove himself.
It's true. And, Kennett's he is just a true freshman. And, Renfrey's a redshirt sophomore. So a lot more experience and a lot more opportunities. And we'll see what happens with him in the future.
I guess we'll have to see. Anyway, that'll conclude our recap of the game. Check back with us on Friday, and we'll have a preview for Duke's next game.
Thanks, guys.